Hey everyone, thanks for joining me at Mommy's Metal. As always, I'm the mommy, and this is my metal. I'm going to switch up the format a little bit this week, and I'll probably continue to do so until it feels just right, so please bear with me. So this week I'm listening to 3 new bands. One of them is Cane Hill. I discovered this band in Metal Hammer magazine, and they described them as having the bounce of Korn, the groove of Pantera, and the chaos of Slipknot. That instantly appealed to me. I went, I checked them out. The song Time Bomb hooked me immediately.
I'm a time bomb, just let me up. My sanity is failing me. Times are fatal. I'm a time bomb, ready to play. Humanity is failing me. Times are fatal.
I love the song. I'm going to listen to the rest of their stuff and probably continue to follow them, so I think they're going to earn a permanent place on my playlist. Another band that was recommended to me by my friend was She Must Burn. The song Eclipse blew him away, so as far as I'm concerned, this is a band to keep an eye on. I don't have a genre label for this band, so you're just going to have to go and listen to them and figure it out yourself. Another Twitter find is a band called Divinity of Desolation. They're a melodic deathcore band from Venezuela. They have a brand new video out right now. It's a playthrough for a song called Cesar and Live. It's so beautiful. I love it. Loved it instantly. Another song that I listened to from them was Memories of the Battlefield. This one definitely is a little more guttural. It's a little more in your face. It has vocals, whereas the playthrough doesn't. I'm really interested to see where these guys are going to go. So again, follow the links below if you want to check these guys out. Who knows? You might be discovering a band right from the get-go. That's all that's new on my phone this week. If you think you know of a band that deserves a place on my phone, please leave your comments below. I will go and check them out, and in future episodes, I'll let you know what I think. So to go back a year and a half ago, the next band that I remember liking was Disturbed. No, I had never heard of this band before. They don't play on children's TV channels, so likelihood of me hearing them was very, very, very minuscule. I was impressed by their boldness in very adult subject matter like politics and the Holocaust. They were heavy, yet Draymond can hold a tune for sure. The aggressive nature in which these themes are being presented certainly gives you an idea of the passion behind the song. None of the songs specifically spoke to me. I just really, really, really enjoyed listening to them. At the time, I was trying to identify bands as they came up on the playlist. The only way I could identify Disturbed was if I heard the telltale blach, 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 blah, blah. That, to me, instantly identified it as Disturbed, whether it was or not. I know other bands do employ this sound, but it was the only thing I had that could identify them because for some reason I was still confusing them with Korn. I'd only ever heard Freak on a Leash from Korn, so their other songs I wasn't familiar with, and they don't sing the same way in their other songs. So I couldn't identify either one of them in the beginning. But that was my telltale giveaway. I've expanded my library to include other albums by Disturbed, and I've yet to come upon a song that I will skip over. I'll listen to every one of them, even when I think I'm done with them because I've listened to them so much and I want to move on to other bands. Their songs will come up. I listen. Can't help it. Recently, I was also introduced to Draymond's rendition of The Sound of Silence, which is an old Simon and Garfunkel song. Your parents probably know the song. This is a beautifully haunting rendition that you absolutely have to go and listen to. Your parents will love it. You will love it. You'll be able to, say, haha, that's a heavy metal singer. It's really, really good. Please follow the link below. Go watch the video. Listen to his rendition. It will give you goosebumps. While I was getting used to penetrating the wall that prevented me from understanding vocals in heavy metal, I was introduced to a similar sweeping force called Metalocalypse. Metalocalypse is an animated show about a series of misfits who form a death metal band called Dethklok. Dethklok is basically the biggest thing on the planet. The planet is ruled by heavy metal music. This world was brought to us by creator, musician, the incredibly talented Brendan Small. Growing to understand the undying, pun intended, loyalty of Dethklok's fans and watching the personal growth of Nathan and Squizgar and Toki and Murderface and Pickles. Sorry, I always forget Pickles. It only strengthened the respect I had for the people who actually make up this community. There are actual people behind the music, and they all have their own personalities, and they all go through their own trials and tribulations. And even though the show is incredibly over the top on metal stereotypes and extremely gory in the beginning and pretty much throughout the entire series, you just can't help but fall in love with these boys. And you're so proud of them when they actually do something that you would expect a typical person to do, but this is a huge growth moment for them. The sole purpose of the band Dethklok seems to be to try and always be as brutal as possible in every situation, no matter what it is. Let your imagination run wild. I am sure they try and do something to brutalize it, not in a sadistic kind of way, but in an incredibly hilarious, gory, cringe-worthy kind of way. I'll let you go and watch Metalocalypse for yourself so that you can see how the individual characters do experience growth. I could give you my interpretation, but it would be better if you actually saw it for yourself. I still couldn't understand most of the songs though, and because of that, I am currently rewatching it. I'm on season 1. One thing to mention, the audio in season 1 is not as clear or easy to understand as it gets in season 2 and so on. So get through season 1, the production value increases immensely, and you get absorbed into this world. Now that I am going back a year and a half later, though, I can understand a lot of the words. I'm getting all new jokes. I'm laughing my butt off constantly now because I missed it the first time around. Now that I hear it, hilarious. Watching a show like Metalocalypse, because I had, for the last 20 years, have been watching cartoons. Whenever there's little ones around, we pretty much have educational cartoons or whatnot on the TV. I don't watch real TV. So a show like Metalocalypse fit right into that kind of mindset for me, and I was very easily able to replace any guttural sounding vocalist with the image of Nathan Explosion. Because remember, I wasn't watching videos of any of these bands I was listening to. Half the time I couldn't remember their names. But the heavy, heavy guttural sounds, always Nathan Explosion in my mind. Squizgar was substituted for every guitar I heard that was fast and complicated. Pickles was every insane drummer who has mastered the blast beat. Toki was every rhythm guitarist that I could actually pick out, because I still was having a hard time picking out lead guitar from rhythm guitar, especially if they played at the same time and sounded very similar. I didn't know which was which. But if I could figure out which one was the rhythm guitar, it was always Toki. And the bass player was always Murderface, regardless. So any band that had all of these elements, it was easy for me to imagine them as Dethklok. It wasn't until months later that I actually went and found out what these guys look like. So yeah, Ollie from Bring Me the Horizon doesn't look like Nathan Explosion, but in their first album, he certainly sounds like him. I credit this show for opening up my mind and allowing me to appreciate the heavier sounds I was hearing in other songs. Without that entryway or that bridgeway, I don't know if I ever would have appreciated the heavier sounds, and I would have missed out on some incredible bands. I believe it was season 3 that I found out each member of Dethklok is based on an actual real-life musician. I don't know why this never occurred to me, but it just didn't. Secretly, Squizgar was my favorite, so I immediately wanted to find out who he represented. It's universally agreed that that's Alexi Laiho from Children of Bodom. Instantly fell in love with their band. Every time that man plays a guitar solo, I am completely hypnotized. He is every complicated, heavy guitar playing musician that you could possibly imagine in one. So that's it for this week's episode. Thank you for joining me. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share with your friends, and hit subscribe if you haven't already. I also wanted to mention that this is the weekend I'm going to my first metal show. I'm going to see Garod with Beyond Creation. So if Garod or Beyond Creation are watching this and I've already proclaimed I like you and you want to hook me up with some merchandise or maybe get a picture or two, I'd be open to that. I just wanted to thank you for visiting and wish you all a happy Easter.